How I feel? Left. What I want?
Get back slow. I love the way she rock it. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she pop it, the shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty's over getting out. She's confident. I love the way she move it.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here with a video where we're gonna be talking about the Washington Commanders being a confusing team and how they need to build some consistency if they want to turn this season into something special. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload new videos like this to the channel. We're on the road to 7,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's video. So the Washington Commanders sit at 3-3 headed into their next matchup versus the New York Giants, and I feel like we have a good read on the Washington Commanders as of right now. And my read that I have on them is they're a confusing team. Am I the only one that feel like that? They're confusing. They don't have an identity. And what do I mean by that? One week, they want to go toe-to-toe with one of the best teams in football. Then the next week, they want to get blown out by one of the worst teams in football. Then they want to bounce back and get a victory over a team that it was very beatable, but then in a way that they did it, they still left a lot out there to be desired. Should have been a blowout versus the Falcons. Let's keep it a buck. Then your head coach goes out to say, give out this very, very good speech, okay? After he comes back from a week where he didn't even say nothing at halftime. You got Eric Bieniemy that says he doesn't want to get, he doesn't care about stats, and pretty much basically saying it's his scheme, and saying that he wants to feature the running game. But then you only get Brian Robinson 10 carries. But then you're coming off of a week where after it got pounded into your head about giving Brian Robinson the ball when you should have been passing the ball versus a very, very poor Bears offense, you run the ball a lot. You know what I'm saying? Am I the only one that feels like this team is confusing? Like, it's like one day they do something, and then the next day they do the total opposite. It feels very Scott Turnerish. Now, if I'm not doing a good job of explaining why I'm saying that, I apologize. But this is how I feel, and hopefully you can grasp what I'm trying to say. I genuinely think the Washington Commanders have the talent to be really good and be a top team in the NFC East and the NFC in total. They just need to find consistency. They need to build an identity. What kind of team are we going to be? I understand we want to pass the ball heavy, but why are we going to do that, right? We're going to be a pass heavy team, but then you're not going to get your playmakers the ball. That don't even make sense. You want to be pass heavy. You said if Andy Reid found out I threw the ball 50 plus times, he'd be happy about that, but you only give Jahan Dotson one target? You know, Terry only he's coming off a game where he got a lot of targets, but that's rare for him. We get excited about Terry getting 8 targets. That shouldn't be the case, you know? So we need to find out what identity are we going to be. I thought we built that in the summer, but clearly not. I don't know. Maybe that's just, I'm tripping, but that's how I feel. We don't have an identity. That's what's causing us to lack consistency, right? We don't have a true leader. Like I said, Ron Rivera tried to do that this week, but him himself, not even just Eric Bieniemy, but the head coach, Ron Rivera needs to find out this identity. Is he gonna be a coach that's gonna be tough, that's gonna be rowdy, that's gonna be bringing the fire, or is he gonna be that nonchalant coach that he was versus the Bears? You know, and I feel like we're behind the 8 ball a little bit because that's something that should have been settled in the off season. That's the biggest reason why I feel like we've lacked consistency so far this year, and we're sitting at 3-3, and rightfully so. I think we have the talent to be 5-1, 4-2, but we're probably right where we should be, and that's even right now. Because again, like I said, this team has lacked its identity and consistency to start the 2023-2024 campaign. The Washington Commanders have a very favorable schedule coming up, in my opinion. You got a game versus the terrible Giants team that's coming off of a game where they really should have won, but you know, things happen. So they're going to be coming in here with some confidence. Then you got the Eagles, very winnable at home. You took them to the wire there at the link last time you played them, and then I believe after that you got the Patriots. So you got the next couple games that are very, very winnable, and you could be looking back up at this thing, and you're going to be 6-3, and that's going to be part because you finally had consistency. You know, I feel like these coaches make the game more harder than what it has to be. You know what I'm saying? Especially, you know, these offensive coordinators and defense too, but offensive coordinators, like, I don't get why you wouldn't want to go out your way to get your best playmakers the ball. You know, I understand you got a scheme, but sometimes you got to change on the fly. Eric Bieniemy was not good in the second half of the game versus the Atlanta Falcons. I do understand the Falcons had a really, really good run defense, but you still kind of should have created different ways for Brian Robinson to get the ball. Like, I don't understand why we just run gun runs. It's like we only got a counter, we got an inside zone out of the gun. We only got 3 run plays, bro. Why can't we line up under center? What's the purpose of bringing Alex Armour here if we weren't going to use him? You know, even if you don't use Alex Armour, you can use John Bates in the backfield, line up heavy, give it to B-Rob, and let him run between the tackles, let him run between the guards. Like, you know what I'm saying? We could find different run plays, you know, to do with our RBs. Like I said, Chris Rodriguez was running good. Why did we ever stop doing that? You feel me? So again, like I said, the Washington Commanders, for all intents and purposes, is right where they belong through 6 weeks, 3-3, because we lack an identity. We don't know what we want to be. The good thing about it is that with the Eagles loss, this division is still right there, and then the NFC as a whole, everybody is really bunched up. Outside of the Eagles, outside of the 49ers and the Detroit Lions, the NFC is very open, you know, and obviously, you know, the NFC West and NFC South is going to send a division winner. Like I said, the 49ers from the West, and then the South is probably going to end up being, I'll probably say the Saints, maybe, and then obviously the North is going to be the Lions. I mean, honestly speaking, you look at the Lions division, you could probably wrap that thing up in about 3 weeks if you want to be for real. But yeah, like I said, man, I just want to come on here to talk about that. I think the Washington Commanders is a confusing team, and part of the reason why we haven't been, you know, as good as we should have been through the first 6 weeks is because we lack consistency, and when you lack consistency, you tend to get confused. We need to figure this thing out now. This is the perfect spot, the perfect schedule, part of our schedule where we need to figure this thing out, because you go into December, okay, where it's going to get crunched. November, December is going to be really important. We cannot have no screw ups, okay, because you're facing really, really good teams like the Cowboys twice, like the Dolphins, you know, like the Jets. I know the Jets is Zach Wilson, but you never know. You got Seattle on the road. You got LA Rams with Puka Nacua and obviously Cooper Kupp. Matthew Stafford doesn't look half bad. We just got the 49ers December 31st. Like, we need to figure this thing out before we get to November, man. So this is the perfect stretch right here, but we need to figure out what is our identity going to be. Are we going to be a team that's going to start getting our playmakers the ball? Are we going to be a blitzing defensive team? Are we going to finally use our pieces on defense? Khalil Hudson. Are we finally going to use you know, more Danny Johnson, or, you know, find a way for Forbes to get up in that thing? Are we going to use Cam Curl more far away from the line of scrimmage? I don't know about you. I feel like Cam Curl is our best playmaker in the secondary when it comes to making plays on the ball. I love him down by the line of scrimmage, but I think you have a Khalil Hudson right there for you can use him, and then you put Cam Curl in the back end. Casey Toohill, really, really good this past Sunday. We got stuff, y'all. That's the biggest thing about it. Is like, I think these coaches make things harder than what they have to be, because we're fans, and we know, you know what I'm saying? We're fans, and we figure this stuff out. So it's like, what takes so long for these coaches to figure things out that fans been seeing since 2 years ago? Remember, we've been clamoring, especially a guy like me, for Khalil Hudson to get some playing time like 2 years ago. But now they want to do it, right? Now they want to do it. And then when it comes to the offensive side of the ball, we brought you here, Eric Bieniemy, because we knew you were going to be a guy, or at least we thought you were going to be a guy that got your playmakers the ball. If that was the case, we would have kept Scott Turner. Because at least Scott Turner got Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson the ball. You know, like, Scott, this is very Scott Turner, so I'm going to be honest with you. This very Scott Turner-ish right now, and again, it's not over for EB. Still got 11-12 games left, 11 games or so, whatever, to figure things out. But so far, EB has been pretty average. He's been pretty. He's shown flashes of when he's able to get this offense going, and we're able to put up 30 points. It was no reason for us to not put up 30 points. After Benjamin St. Juice got that pick, it was no reason for the Washington Commanders to not put up 30 points versus the Falcons. When this offense is on, we're putting up 30 points like it's easy. But then when we get in our head, when we stop using our brain, that's when you have performances like the Bears, like the Falcons, like the Cardinals, where you're only putting the Bills, where you're not putting up no points, or you're only putting up 20 points. You feel me? So again, like I said, we need to figure out our identity. Our identity needs to be get the playmakers the ball for the offense, and then for the defense, we need to be I would say a defense that is going to be what can I say for the defense? Defense that's going to be I'm going to say obviously flying around defense, but a defense that's going to be creative. We don't have the defensive coordinator that's going to be creative, clearly, but he's shown flashes like last week versus the Falcons. He's shown times where he got creative, got in his bag. It's all about consistency. That's my biggest fear, and my biggest problem is one week you show that, and then the next week you go back to being butt. So we need to build this consistency, and then that's when the Washington Commanders are going to be able to take off. I'm telling y'all, trust me, and I know y'all agree with me, y'all see what I'm saying, but trust me, if we can figure out to build this consistency and stop being a confusing team, we're going to be hard to beat. We are. I'm reaching the next couple of games and we'll get out of here. Giants game, that's very winnable. Eagles game, very winnable. Patriots game, very winnable. Seattle, very winnable. Then you got the Giants again, that's very winnable. This stretch of games going into Thanksgiving is very winnable. Because then you got the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Like, once we get to December, that's when it's going to get tough. Okay, that's when it's going to get tough. Because then you got Dolphins, Rams, Jets, 49ers, and then Cowboys again. So we need to take advantage of this next upcoming stretch of games right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, these next 5. And then until we get to the Cowboys game, okay? So with that being said, man, let me know what y'all think about this video in the comment section down below. I had to come on here to say that I think the Washington Commanders right now is a very confusing team. One week they do something, next week they don't. Then the next week they go back to it, and the next week they don't. Like, they're very confusing. So we need to find a way to build some consistency. So right now we're 3-3, and we had the time to be 5-1, 4-2, but honestly, we're probably where we should be through the first 6 weeks. What says you out there? I'm done wrapping y'all up. Y'all have a good night. As always, me and boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hail to the Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 7,000 subscribers, so please help me get there as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Y'all have a blessed night. Peace.